Hi everybody. Today we're going to be reading Moonwalker, the storybook, based off of the Moonwalker movie by Michael Jackson. Without further ado, let's begin. When he was 5 years old, he was a member of the Jackson 5, so he's been singing and dancing for most of his life. Audiences around the world have been astonished by his extraordinary talent. The man who made the moonwalk more famous than NASA is. Michael Jackson. Michael always had a dream. He cannot remember a time when it wasn't there. He would think about the dream as he made wishes on stars or blew out candles. He also worked hard to help this dream along. He wanted to sing and dance all over the world and touch the lives of people everywhere. He loves sharing his talents with everyone, and he believes we all have something to share. Michael's songs have special meanings and messages. They ask people to stop and think about their actions, think about other people, think about the world. Michael likes to remind the millions of people everywhere that a single person can make a difference, can change the world, and make it a better place. In the song Man in the Mirror, he tells people to help change the world by changing themselves first. One small change in your own life can, if by magic, create a chain reaction that helps others, who in turn help more people, until everyone everywhere has been touched and changed. Suddenly, the world is a better place. Come follow Michael and his friends as they attempt to change the world they have discovered. On a beautiful spring day, Michael and his pal Katie are sitting in the meadow enjoying the warmth of the sun with Katie's dog Skipper. Their friends Sean and Zeke see them and run over to join them. They have a soccer ball, and soon the four friends are running all over the meadow as Skipper watches, eager to join the game. Soon, watching all the fun is too much for Skipper, and he joins the game uninvited. He gets a little carried away, however, and in his excitement, races into the woods with the soccer ball clamped in his mouth. The friends run after him, and that makes the game Skipper has just invented all the more fun. He runs faster and soon disappears from sight. Once they got deep into the woods, Michael and Katie are separated from Sean and Zeke. They call Skipper's name and look everywhere, but their shouts go unanswered. When they stumble across the entrance to a cave, they know they have to take a look inside because it would be just like Skipper to run in there to hide. The cave is deserted and filled with cobwebs, but it intrigues them. On one of the walls is a strange carving that represents resembles the spider. Michael is fascinated by the odd spider-like carving and places his hand over it. Suddenly it begins to glow, and a wall of the cave begins to move. Katie is scared and wants to leave, but the wall has shifted to reveal a secret doorway. Michael convinces Katie that they should see what lies ahead. Michael and Katie move quietly through a long passageway and find themselves staring down at a huge laboratory that's bustling with activity. They carefully concealed their presence as they listened to the voice of an evil man named Mr. Big, who is telling his troops of a plan he has to turn children everywhere into helpless drug addicts. Mr. Big sees Michael and Katie and realizes that his plans have been overheard. He must get them before they try to stop his evil plan. Michael and Katie run from the cave as quickly as they can. Safely back in the city, Michael sends Katie to find Zeke and Sean while he tries to figure out how to deal with Mr. Big and his terrible troopers. Michael tells Katie to get the boys and meet him later at Club 30's. Michael, knowing he must find a way to foil Mr. Big's plans, is deep in thought, staring at the beautiful night sky for inspiration, when suddenly he senses danger. Mr. Big and his soldiers are nearby and they see Michael standing on the steps of his apartment building. In a split second, the quiet of the night is shattered by machine gun fire. Bullets are flying everywhere, whirring past Michael as they break windows and damage buildings. Smoke has now filled the eerie night when all of a sudden everything becomes deadly silent. Because of the smoke, Mr. Big and his troopers are unable to see Michael, but Mr. Big is sure they will find him sprawled on the ground. Mr. Big walks quietly from behind his men and finds that Michael has disappeared. Mr. Big cannot believe his eyes. He turns to his troopers and shouts instructions. Suddenly they see Michael running down the street and around the corner, out of sight. Mr. Big sends his men in pursuit. They must get Michael, now. Michael has taken a wrong turn and finds himself in a dead-end alley with no possible way out. He can hear the loud pursuing footsteps of Mr. Big and his heavily armed men. Michael looks up at the beautiful night sky as if he is looking for an answer in the stars. Perhaps he is, and perhaps there is magic in that sky. Mr. Big assembles his troops at the opening of the alley and has each man aim his gun down at the shadowy dead-end passage. The soldiers are ready to open fire when suddenly a large and very shiny silver car roars out of the alley. Mr. Big can tell that this vehicle is much more than a car. He wants it as badly as he wants Michael. Mr. Big orders his men to open fire. A dizzying number of shots are fired at the beautiful car, but the bullets just bounce off. Above the roar of the guns, the car's enormous engine gives off its own very loud noises as the engine revs and the car begins to race toward the evil men. They all watch with amazement as the car sails into the air and over their heads, trailing a trail of fire behind it. Michael has escaped once again. Mr. Big watches as the car speeds up the street and out of the sight, going much too quickly for anyone to follow it. The car rolls to a stop around the corner from Club 30's where Michael promised to meet his friends. Meanwhile, Sean and Zeke have found Skipper back in the meadow, playfully awaiting Michael and the kids. Unable to find Michael and Katie, the boys finally leave. Later it is Katie who finds them. She asks him to go with her to Club 30's to wait for Michael, and they enthusiastically agree. When they get to the club, no one is there. As a matter of fact, it looks as if there hasn't been anyone in or around the club for a very long time. The dusty old place is creepy and dirty, so the kids decide to wait outside in a little alley and keep an eye out for Michael. Michael doesn't know the kids are waiting for him nearby, so he enters the club, thinking they're inside. A bright, blinding light flashes as Michael enters. Then he opens his eyes once again, the light has faded, and the club has been transformed into a hot night spot right out of the 1930s. Michael's clothes have changed too. He's now wearing a cool suit and a big white hat. Michael sees a jukebox across the room, digs deeply into a pocket, and finds a shiny coin that he flips through the air. As if by magic, the coin drops neatly into the slot. The jukebox lights up and wonderful music begins to play. Suddenly, the club is filled with people and everyone begins to dance with Michael as he sings Smooth Criminal. As he came into the window, it was the sound of a crescendo. Annie, are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Okay, I want everybody to clear the area right now. So they went into the alleyway. It was Sunday, what a black day. Annie, are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? You've been hit by a smooth criminal. Katie, Sean, and Zeke haven't seen Michael arrive as they wait out in the alley. They're sure that he wouldn't linger inside the dusty old club any more than they would. But suddenly, Katie hears music coming from inside the club. She looks in through one of the windows and smiles when she sees Michael. Not only is he safe, but he is having a wonderful time. She calls to Zeke and Sean, who rush over to watch Michael and the dancers as they stride around the floor. Zeke jumps to the ground and begins to dance like Michael. I told Michael everything he knows about dancing, Zeke insists as he continues to dance below the window. Mr. Big and his men have followed Michael to Club Dirty's, refusing to give up. They surround the building and open fire, shooting into the club. When the noise from their guns finally stops and the smoke clears, Michael is standing unhurt, surveying what's left of the damaged club. When the children saw Mr. Big arrive, they were startled and tried to run away, but Mr. Big called Katie. He was taking her prisoner to lure Michael into a trap because Mr. Big knows that wherever Katie goes, Michael will follow. When Michael learns that Mr. Big has taken Katie away with him, he's desperate to find her. He knows she's in terrible danger. Unsure that he'll be able to find her quickly enough, Michael decides to allow himself to be captured by several of Mr. Big's men. Michael is taken back to the woods where he and Katie search for Skipper. At the entrance to Mr. Big's laboratory, dozens of troopers stand guard on the high walls surrounding the place. Michael is completely surrounded and there seems to be no escape. The great entrance to the laboratory slides open with a rumble. Standing in the white light is Mr. Big, holding tightly to a very scared little Katie. When she sees Michael, she screams his name and tries to run to him. After fleeing from the club, Zeke and Sean were looking for Michael when they saw the soldiers taking him away. They followed quietly and crept to the top of a nearby hill to see what was going on down below. They look at all the soldiers, knowing there is nothing they can do to help their friends. Katie struggles with Mr. Big, causing the evil man to take his eyes off of Michael, who then rushes forward to try and free Katie. As Mr. Big defends himself from Michael and yells for his troops, Katie slips from his grasp. In the awful confusion that follows, Katie manages to escape. She scrambles up the nearby hill and into Sean and Zeke's joyous embrace. The three friends were happy to be together again, but they were very worried about Michael, who was still in big trouble down below. Michael, who often finds magical strength from the stars in the night sky, looks up into the twinkling velvet sky as if he's searching for a way to fight off the evil army he's facing. Suddenly, Michael is aware of Mr. Big's disappearance. He looks all around him as the rock slides away from a large hole in the side of Mr. Big's mountain to reveal a gigantic laser gun with Mr. Big at the trigger. The troopers notice something strange happening to Michael. his skin begins to change to a smooth silvery color, and he begins to take on the shape of a robot, a magnificent robot, capable of destroying Mr. Big's army. Seeing that his men will be easily defeated by Michael, Mr. Big prepares for a final deadly battle. Michael continues to change shape. Before everyone's astonished eyes, he becomes a spaceship that rises steadily from the ground, ready to do battle with the terrible Mr. Big and end his evil plot against the children of the world. Mr. Big switches his lasers to full power, takes aim and fires, certain that Michael will not have the strength to fight back. The force field surrounding the mighty spaceship protects Michael and acts as a reflector. Mr. Big's laser beams bounce off the spaceship and return, hurtling toward the gun and Mr. Big. A huge explosion marks the end of a wicked man and his wicked scheme. The spaceship rises triumphantly above the ruins of the laboratory and flies over to where Katie, Sean, and Zeke are waiting. Katie, Zeke, and Sean are filled with joy. Michael has saved them and all of the children of the world. It is a great day for everyone. Michael tells his friends that he must leave. He has accomplished a great deal here, but he cannot stay any longer. They say a sad goodbye to their dear friend. The kids miss Michael from the moment he leaves. The next day, they meet outside of Club 30's, where they sit and talk about how quickly their lives have been changed, how one man really can make a difference, just like Michael told them. They're all very sad, but Katie never gives up. Hope that Michael will return to them somehow. Far down the street, Katie sees an oddly familiar-looking man. There's something about the way he walks, almost as if his feet don't touch the ground. Suddenly, all three of them know that their wish has come true. Michael has returned. Together, the four friends enter Club 30's and are caught in the blinding white light. When the light fades and they open their eyes, Katie, Zeke, and Sean are backstage at a Michael Jackson concert. Michael is performing before a huge audience, and singing come together. The end. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye everybody.